Hi, Marie here from Tipperary County Council, and I'm in Cashel with my mother Marion O'Byrne, who's going to show you how to make some cheese and chive scones.
Hi everyone, I'm just going to show you how to make some cheese and chive scones today. The first thing I want to say is get all your ingredients ready before you start. It's much easier if everything is at your hand. And I'll just read out the ingredients for you now if you have a pen and paper to take them down. You need 8 ounces of plain flour, 2 ounces of butter, 2 teaspoonfuls of baking powder, a teaspoonful of black pepper, and a pinch of salt. Now the pinch of chives, if you don't like chives, you can leave them out, it won't make any difference. You need 3 ounces of cheddar cheese, a good teaspoonful of mustard, and 200 mils of milk. And we'll start then and I'll show you how to make them. Now the first thing is we put the flour into the bowl. It's all very simple. Add the salt and pepper that I have in here, a teaspoonful of each. And it's you can add the chives. Now all the dry ingredients actually can go in together. And the cheese. Just get it all out there. And this is the baking powder. Now 2 teaspoonfuls seems like a lot, but it does make the scones nice and light and fluffy. So put it all in there. Now another tip for you is grate your butter into the, because the less handling you do of the butter the better. You don't have to handle the flour mixture afterwards as much, and it's much easier on yourself anyway than putting your hands into it. And just rub it with a bit of flour like that, and it just flies off of it, and it takes only a couple of minutes. Now mix the cheese, mix everything around, and just finish off that little bit of butter, get it all into it. Now the next step then is just to mix everything together. Make sure that the cheese and the butter are separated. You don't need to break them up. Some of the recipes tell you to, make them like breadcrumbs, but there's no need to once you have shredded it or grated it, as they say. And that's all you need to do. It's very simple. Now the next stage is just to mix the milk and the teaspoonful of mustard. Now I find it easier to put it into the milk, it's easier to mix. And I just have a little whisk here now, and I can break it up. I know we're all looking for something to do during the coronavirus, and this is a great pastime for anybody, and especially for people that are not in the habit of actually doing a lot of baking. These are very simple. So you just pour it all in, and then with your hands you just mix it in. Roll it into a bowl. Make sure you get it all. Don't knead it too much. It's much better if you don't. You just need a little drop of milk there. And that's it. A little bit of flour on the table, and then you just knead it all together just for a second or two. And then with your rolling pin, another little bit of flour. with our cutter then that's the size cutter that you use. It's up to yourself, depends on how big you like them, but this is the size I use. Just hit them out like that. Now the bits left over, just bring them back together again. Give it another little roll out. We won't waste any of it. And the same thing again, just tap them out. Now I'll just give my hands a little wash. Now we just have a tray here. I just want to lightly dust it with a bit of flour. Stops them from sticking. And just place them on your baking tray like that. Have a spare one. Now, what you can do is you can brush the tops of them with a drop of milk, but I'm not going to bother. I'm just going to put a little piece of cheese on top of each one, and that will melt into the scone as it's cooking. And it's nice and crunchy when it's finished. Now the gas you put at number 4, or if you have an electric oven it's 180, and they usually only take about 15 minutes. You'll know yourself anyway when they're nice and brown, golden brown, so we'll just pop them in the oven. Now these are the cheese scones out of the oven now, and don't they look delicious? So simple to make, and